So here we are at the Mynyddislwyn Murder Mile, one of the only races that's just as hard to say as it is to run. Unless you're, of course, just from Wales, in which case it's just kind of a normal word. Here's something a little bit different. Going to try a course video and a bit of a review in one. See how that goes. And after a 3, 2, 1 go from the run director sticking his head out of a car, we were off, and of course straight up a hill. This race is only a mile long, but it's about 90-95% uphill, which you can see straight away the pace of everyone here struggling already on this awful course. And just as we get here, it flattens off, so there's a tiny bit of respite, and you get a little bit of rest from that initial hill just to catch your breath, and it's definitely woken everyone's legs up. So I did speed up just a little bit here just to try and make up a few of those valuable seconds. It is a bit wobbly and my hands are flapping around there. I did have the chest camera on this time, as I thought I'm going to spend a lot of time looking directly at the ground because it's so steep, so I thought the head camera is not going to be that thrilling, but the chest camera seemed to have worked out fairly well if you don't mind a little bit of seasickness. And here again, basically any time it was anything other than stupidly steep, I did try and speed up a little bit just to make up a little bit of time. Do you know what, I'm pretty happy with this. It looks like I'm running fairly quick. I know how hard this was, and this was a decent hill. So I'm quite impressed. It looks not awful. But of course what the video can't show is just how steep this was, and this isn't even the worst section. I think you really have to just see everyone else to see how hard everyone is working. So there we go, I've just passed my mile PB. I'm just outside of this time. I haven't actually reached halfway yet, and I've just hit my mile PB. Wow. So there were a couple of slight flatter parts towards the bottom, but as in a mile race on a track, the third lap is the hardest, and so it is here between half and 3/4. It is all uphill, and it is all really steep. I'm still quite impressed. I seem to be motoring pretty well, but I did have to stop to walk pretty soon. And as it turns out, once you get that tired and that steep, walking's actually a little bit quicker. Now I consider this to be a very good sign in an uphill race like this. Overtaking a club runner from MDC, those guys are pretty hardcore off-road and on hills. So if I can overtake one of their runners, I'm always very happy with myself. And there I am walking like a loser. Shout out to Julia here, who was supporting us on the night, who mentioned a bit at the end, "Oh, did you see those two little boys? Oh, they did so well, didn't they?" I said, "Yeah, I did see them, Julia, because they both beat me. Yeah, thanks for that. That was really good." Again, I don't know if you can tell how steep this was, but it really was. Now, I have done this race a couple of times before, but I've had to miss it for the last 2 years. And my tactic in the first year I did it, because you have to walk down this hill to get to the start in the first place, I knew how bad it was going to be, and so my tactic was basically just head straight down, and I only very occasionally glanced up just to see how bad it was. But actually I realised the second year I did it, much better hill running technique. When you are running, keep yourself nice and upright, small steps, and actually I think it's better to look the hill in the face and actually attack it rather than kind of hide and try and be in denial about how steep the damn thing's going to be. Now in some ways this is the cruelest part of the race. As you get to the top of the hill, you turn left here, and there's about 150-200 yards to finish, and about the worst thing you can have, as I did there, is having someone next to you as you get to that corner, because that means you have to race them, and trying to run on legs that have just come up almost a mile of hill is absolute torture. Actually, I'm pretty proud of myself. I managed to hold a pace pretty well and beat that guy. Oh no, wait, apart from that guy who just flew past me from nowhere. Never mind. I managed to cross the line about 30 seconds quicker than my time last time I did this race, so I'm really, really happy with that. It is a completely stupid, brilliant race. You'd be mad to do it, but honestly, I think if you live anywhere near this race and you don't do it at least once, you're even madder. After the race, they give you Haribo and a bottle of beer, and it's like a £5. Why would you not do the Murder Mile?